You're listening to the Heroes Power Hour presented by BlizzPro.com. Your hosts, Balrog fan Zexorus and DJ Tyrant. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Heroes Power Hour. This is a podcast for Heroes of the Storm, brought to you by BlizzPro.com and partnered with Lenovo Gaming and Intel. Once again, as always, I'm your host, DJ Tyrant, and with me, we're running a little slim this week, but we do have Zexorus. How has your week in Heroes of the Storm been?
It's been up and down. It's been better than last week. I finally got my using hot slugs. I've gotten my quick match MMR back to where it was previous season, which I actually got to have a quick little discussion with him about why I lost like 200 MMR at the start of the season. And his explanation was, don't worry about it. It'll sort itself out. Okay.
Him being like Barrett?
Yeah. I think so.
For those you don't know, Barrett's the guy who made hot slugs.
Yeah. Then it would have been him.
I don't know if he's got like another guy or two helping him out at this point, but
the person who answered was Ben. Yeah, Ben Barrett. Yeah, he answered me personally. His response was, "Currently, I'm not able to perfectly time the start of season 3, so it's a little off of what Blizzard has." Because I had shown him these were season 3 games, and they're not listed under season 3. You know, what's going on with that? Mm-hmm. And he's like, just keep playing, it'll balance itself out. Oh, okay. But I've been feeling a little under the weather today, but it hasn't stopped me from playing a lot of heroes. Mm-hmm. So,
speaking of under weather, that's why we don't have Balrog fan with us tonight. He's not feeling too great, so he's taking the night off. Hopefully he feels well, and we'll be back for our next show. Yeah.
Luckily, we have a big black box on the screen to remember him by.
Yeah, that's because I haven't gotten the updated overlays for the other other configurations. Yeah. We should get those soon, though, so we won't run into this problem again. And we wanted to make sure we had the Lenovo Gaming logo on there because they've done a really good job of partnering with us, and we wanted to make sure to give them love. PFlameG, how has your week been in Heroes?
Well, I finished my placements. Got placed into Plat 1, which is lower than usual. I climbed back up to Diamond 5 today. Hoping to continue that, but I think I've noticed a lot of players with Masters and even Grandmasters portraits from last season who are currently Plat 1, Diamond 5 kind of area. And I'm not saying, I mean, maybe like Fan got placed in Diamond 3. Mm-hmm. But they did, at least at the start of the season, they definitely thinned it out, because it used to be like almost everyone at the upper end just placed immediately into Diamond 3, and it's pretty short climb up to Masters, or you just kind of float around mid Diamond forever like I do. But they're starting to slower now, which, given their goal of having less people in Diamond, that's a good place to start. And then we'll see how that ends up as the season progresses, as people grind out more games.
Well, it's nice to see someone moving up.
Yeah.
I had a game or 2 games earlier today. It was my promo game into Diamond 5, and there is this guy on my team he was last pick. And he was hovering Tracer, but he ended up with support because last pick. Mm-hmm. And he was really mad about it. He was like, I can't carry you guys on support. I'm the best player on this team. I don't know what you guys are doing. I mean, he wasn't. I was banning, so I had high MMR. But he was very convinced he was the best player on this team. And we lost, and I didn't even play well. I accept responsibility for losing that promo, but he was flaming the entire time about how we should have let him carry, and then play the next game, and he's on the other team, and he gets Falstad, and we just destroy them. And I catch him out so many times.
Yeah, that's the thing is, you're like, we need to target this guy because he's going to get on tilt and just like do terrible.
That is the exact thing that happened to me a couple days ago. There's two guys on our team. One of them started feeding towards the end, just click A, go down mid. And the other one just wouldn't shut up. I queue up for another Hero League game. Those two are on the same team, or on the opposite team. I immediately say, hey, focus these two down. They're going to tilt really hard, and it's going to make our life a lot easier. And we did. And the guy who started feeding again.
Oh, my gosh.
And the other guy who was on Butcher was deciding he wanted to 1v5 the rest of the game.
How'd that work out?
Well, we won by 4 levels.
Oh my goodness! Oh,
they were like, "Hey, that was a really good call, focusing those two. It made our game a lot easier." I'm like, I know they're kind of jerks.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things we were wanting to talk about this week, but Blizzard kind of beat us to the punch, and we're going to be talking about the patch that came out today, actually, just a few hours ago. We were going to be talking about Ragnaros's ridiculous win rate post launch, and also Diablo's big rise after his rework. But we're going to talk about the balance changes really quick. And the first thing on these notes is actually targeting Haunted Mines, the newest version of it. Got released last week with the Ragnaros patch as well. But the Grave Golems are getting buffs. The Summon Grave Golem attack damage increased about 30 points, and the Grave Golem stomp damage increased from 60 to 150. So these are some serious changes for the main objective on Haunted Mines. This almost feels reminiscent of how they changed the original Haunted Mines, where it was always playing around with the damage of the golems. But what do you guys think of this? Is it a good change? Is this going to help this map? Have you guys gotten enough playtime? Because it's hard to necessarily get specific playtime on Haunted Mines right now.
It's going to speed the map up. To be perfectly honest, the golems, you weren't really that concerned about the golem. You could have 100 skull golem and with, keep exposed, and it wouldn't even push the keep, especially late game. And that was just kind of like, even with enemies attacking it, like old Haunted Mines, you got 100 skull golem. That was a keep guaranteed. But
old Haunted Mines, that was game.
Yeah, old Haunted Mines. Yeah, that was game. But this one, like the golems don't feel as impactful right now. But what these changes are definitely going to help out, especially that stomp damage, because you got stunned. And you're like, oh, I didn't do anything at all. Oh no, I'm stunned.
I mean, the meta right now has a lot of melees. It's like double tank and a melee assassin on a lot of team comps and stuff. Mm-hmm. The stomp changes matter for that. So it'll make it when you're drafting for Haunted Mines. You really, anyways, because you're defending a boss. Trying to push with the boss. You don't want a bunch of melee. You want that safe ranged poke or wave clear. But this is just accentuating that, which I think is good. Because having different draft space on the map is always a really good thing.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, those golems definitely needed a buff because you worried more about the team fights than the golem itself, and I don't think that's what they're going for on Haunted Mines. I think the focus needs to be, oh crap, they got a 70 skull golem, we need to defend this, or whatever. And there's been a few games on Haunted Mines where it was, we literally just ignored the first half of a mine session and just went in and cleaned up the enemy team. and then took the golem and just one person defend a 60 skull golem, 60, 70 skull golem, and other four just push like crazy.
Yeah.
So this is definitely gonna make those golems go ooh, because I believe does the golem scale?
I believe so.
Yeah, they scale over time.
Yeah, so that damage is just going to go up and up and up. So it's definitely, I think it'll be interesting to see, but I think it's where it needs to be right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it'll be good for the Battleground as it goes forward. And I'm excited to play this because I haven't had a chance to play any of these changes yet, but there's a lot of stuff in here. And like I had mentioned at the top of the balance notes changes, we were going to be talking about Ragnaros's ridiculous win rate, and I'm sure we'll touch on that some. But right out of the gate here, getting nerfs essentially across the board. Empower Sulfurious, his Q, his Living Meteor are getting minor damage nerfs. The Molten Core trait is getting its cooldown increased, and damage on its abilities nerfed across the board as well. And Lava Wave, probably his most problematic heroic, cooldown being increased to 2 minutes from 100 seconds, and damage being reduced from 86 to 60. So maybe you can't stand in the fire now. I don't know.
No, you can't.
No, I'm kidding.
You can just stand in it for a little bit longer before you die.
Mm-hmm. And then at level 1, Shifting Meteor, the quest requirement increased from 50 to 75 heroic target hits.
Are people taking the Q talent anyways?
I think so usually. So I'm a little surprised on this. This is a pretty big nerf too.
Yeah, people are taking Sulfurous Hungers. I would understand a nerf to that because it's been so popular.
I was actually taking Engulfing Flame. I like Engulfing Flame. What?
No, I mean I see that.
No,
I just
we're just wondering over the Shifting Meteor picks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I see Shifting Meteor. Like, I see its value because that's a really annoying addition to the meatball. Being able to control it afterwards, it's kind of stupid.
Yeah,
there's no other way around being able to almost perfectly chase somebody down with an angry meatball for two and a quarter seconds. It's just. That's ridiculous because it does a lot of damage.
By spaghetti, be purged.
Yeah, we need a noodleos. Noodleos.
There you go. Oh my goodness!
It's just made of spaghetti. Blizzard, make it happen, please.
You could it wouldn't even mess with their all red color scheme for all of his skins.
Exactly.
Let's just make it a different shade of red. My concern with this is this doesn't necessarily address, I think, the big problem with Lava Wave, in that it literally instantly clears out a lane. Minus any merc camps, I don't think they instantly kill them. It just does damage to them. But still, it's just a huge amount of wave clear, and wave clear is super important on basically every battleground. And I don't see the increased cooldown necessarily having a huge impact.
20 seconds is a lot.
It is a lot, definitely. I mean, over time, that's say 4 of those is another 80 seconds additional cooldown time that you have to wait. So, I mean, that is like 1 to 2 less per game. I don't know, math.
I mean,
math on the fly is hard. Help me out, Carl.
Most people aren't casting it on cooldown. They're casting it after an objective or after a one team or a lost team fight or whatever. If you're casting it once per objective, it doesn't matter because you were casting it like once every 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're casting it like every team fight, then you're not going to be able to cast every team fight now because in most quick match Hero League games below like Grandmaster, people res and run and find the other team to fight them. Mm-hmm. So,
it's a needed. I think it's a needed nerf. It put in too much work with what it did. The increased cooldown's gonna make you use it a little more wisely, in my opinion. And the decreased damage means that you're not going to lose 3/4 of your hit points if you eat a full wave.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just going to lose half of it. And then you get ganked by a Diablo and suplexed and then clotheslined and then suplexed again and you're dead.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. But yeah, the changes to Ragnaros are going to be interesting to see what it does to affect his win rate. I'm still probably going to play him because I really enjoy his toolkit and he's been really fun to play so far. I don't see this majorly changing me still continuing to play him. Zeratul got a change fix to Wormhole at level 7. Now has a short delay before it can be reactivated to avoid accidental activation. This was always the case prior to his recent rework, but there was an unintended change made during the rework process. So get your bingo cards ready. Quality of life change for Zeratul.
Oh, I was just going to take a shot, but okay.
Whatever you're doing, whenever Jimmy says quality of life.
Whatever.
Get it ready.
However you're playing at home. But Artanis as well got some changes, or a change. The Shield Overload trait increased shield value from 360 to 375, so a little bit more survivability for him. But the big one is to Diablo, who also got a big change in the last patch as well. Base max health dropped, and health regen dropped as well in line with the health max health change. At level 1, Bulwark, the duration increase on Shadow Charge resistance decreased by 1 second. Level 7 Soul Shield, ability damage reduction per soul reduced from 0.35 to 0.25. And at level 20 Hellgate, cooldown increased by 20 seconds. So they've been pretty happy with how people have reacted to Diablo, but they want to bring him a little bit more in line as he's been slightly overperforming. And I think we can all pretty much agree on that. Zex, I know you've been singing the praises of Diablos ever since he got these changes and been having a lot of fun with him. Do these changes really bring him back down at all, or are they just kind of minor bumps in the road to Diablo's dominance?
So
I think it's a minor bump in the road, to be honest. Soul Shield is still incredible. Full stacks, I think that's 25% spell resistance. I mean, and if I remember, Carl, help me out on this. If I remember correctly, the resistant will stack with that. So essentially, You're taking 50%. If I don't remember, correct me if I'm wrong. It's 50% less damage from abilities.
Yeah.
So that's absolutely ignorant. That's. Oh no! I ate an arcane orb. I took 50% less damage than what I was supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't even really mess with Bulwark that much anyways. I mean, I see why they reduced it. 5 seconds of 25% resistance is, absolutely nuts. And if you time it right with the double lariat, like the double shadow charge at 16, it's like that's almost 9 seconds if you time it right. So Hellgate is fun. I like Hellgate. But I still like Dying Breath better. Like Hellgate's funny to surprise somebody with, like blink on them, suplex them. They eat the APOC rune, and then you just shove them into the arms of your team. But I don't think there is anything wrong with the 70-second cooldown. It's a bolt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think bolt is on a 90-second cooldown for those who still have it.
I mean, it's a bolt with a stun. So
yeah.
I understand it being longer than bolt, but
yeah, but I haven't had much reliability landing it. Like yeah. I've got to like stun somebody into a wall, blink on top of them, suplex them back into the wall, hit them again, and then the stun goes off. It's just like So you had some thoughts, Carl. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I think health changes are always significant on warriors.
Yes.
Like Anubarak's existence in the meta has been pretty exclusively on changes to his health. So I think this is significant. Just given the nature of his other changes and the fact that it's 100, and I've seen 200 health nerfs. So I think, this isn't going to dumpster him. Soul Shield definitely needed to be changed because, like Willie said before, that was a 35% ability damage reduction, just permanently, that could stack with 25% from your Q. He's so tanky right now. He just doesn't die.
Yeah.
And they hit that. They reduced his max health. They reduced the biggest mitigation ability. They reduced the mitigation on 1. I think he'll go down to 52-ish%, which is a reasonable place. Any hero between 48 and 52 is pretty okay. But he needed it. I mean, I'm an assassin main, and my currently most wins in Hero League is Diablo.
See, that's weird because you mentioned that, and you mentioned this in our chat the other day. Is like, when did you and I swap roles? Because the most wins I have in my Hero League is on Thrall.
Yeah. I've been playing a lot of tanks lately just because I haven't been super I want to play this assassin a lot. And so other people will hover and are like, well, nobody's hovering a tank. I'm okay. Or we don't have a tank or support right now. I like tanks better than supports. So I'll pick a tank. But that's kind of beside the point.
You never did show me that Chen build you had.
I went accumulating flame at 1.
Good boy. See, and that's why you won on Chen. Because you're accumulating flame.
There you
go. The best talent Chen.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, Diablo, I'm interested to see how he performs after his changes. And then last one was Dahaka, enhanced agility at level 1, increased quest reward per 50 essence stacks from 1 to 1.5% movement speed. So nice change for Dahaka there.
Yeah. I almost want to call it a quality of life change.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
It's just one of those minor things where other talents are performing a little better. They want to buff this one.
Yeah. But, I mean, the enhanced agility, it's going to put him up to movement speed when combined with Brush Stalker, so for a second.
Yeah, you get the second mounted speed.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, all the changes I've seen in Dahaka play is I don't know, kind of weird. It's really shifted from the build that I was used to on Dahaka. Like, I see a lot of lurker strain now. I don't know if these are players just trying to be cute. But they'll, because I really feel that going lurker strain is taking away from what he's supposed to be, and that's a tank. Especially a team fighting oriented hero like Dahaka. So, one who collects their Hero Stalker. I know Hero Stalker got that nerf, but that's still a lot of essence to get off a hero kill. So, and then I've been seeing a lot of weird initiations with tunneling claws combined with lurker strain. So they'll tunnel in, pop out, stun somebody, and that's it. And he still suffers from Dahaka problems.
Yeah.
He still can't. You can't heal him when he's burrowed. He can't do anything except for pop up. And that's sometimes a worst case scenario because if they've got a Kerrigan on their team, anybody with any kind of CC, as soon as you pop up, they're on you. There's no way around it. So.
I mean, it's the problem that Ice Block has. It's a really good talent, but 3/4 of the time you use it, you just come out and die. He just has it as a base ability and doesn't have another base ability. So.
But I don't know. In my Hero League, I don't see a whole lot of Dahaka. I want to play Dahaka, but I'm afraid nobody can coordinate with me, so I don't play Dahaka.
That's tough.
I've seen him a lot. Just flank, burrow behind in a brush, wait for the team fight to start, kind of come in and wreck your support, your backline, whatever. And he's pretty good at it with all the damage he has and like constant uptime from his W. Between the Essence, the Burrow, he's kind of hard to deal with. If his team's gone and he's alone, he doesn't pose that much of a threat. But I don't see, like, obviously Drag's a really good talent, but like, he's not a Stitches. He's not playing with his team trying to isolate somebody. He's just kind of diving in the back line and doing a lot of damage. But
he does push annoyingly quick too, because I've seen a lot of people just straight up just primal aggression every time over anything else, and he'll split push a lane and then just show up to a team fight because he can do that because he has global presence.
Yeah, that is definitely what he does. But patch changes, yay! They addressed Rag pretty quickly there, so we'll have to see if that is enough. But also today, if you haven't logged into Heroes or follow their social media, I'll take a look at this. They put out that new skin from Muradin, the what is it called? The Muradin Muradin. So it's like a Marauder from StarCraft, giving Muradin this new themed skin. Really awesome skin, and they're promoting it on the front page, which I'm showing right now on the video feed. If you're on the audio feed, sorry, but imagine in your mind we're looking at the hero splash screen. But really quickly, I'm gonna show up some of the gameplay of this because the mount that he has is really freaking awesome. So he's floating in the air as he's mounted. So it's a very cool themed skin. Willie, the resident warrior player / Muradin fan, what do you think of this?
I didn't even know this released, and I loaded up Heroes, and it was like I see robot dwarf in my face, and I'm like, yo, what is this? I got really excited. Like, this was the first skin that's made me go, yo, this is dope. I really like this skin. like take Haymaker, dude. Like,
oh yeah,
just it's the dopest thing.
All right.
Yeah. One of our viewers, Ashling, said, pretty shocking that the skin is a legendary with no fanfare whatsoever.
Yeah, they just kind of dropped it.
Yeah, it's just like this hidden.
I believe
hidden
I'm pretty sure it was previewed in one of the those massive previews of skins that they do.
I have no idea, but like, I want to kind of say when he does Avatar, he looks a little Torborn ultish. Like when he turns all red and starts like murdering your other team. In that game.
He definitely does.
But this was a legitimate, like, ooh. Because I haven't had a tank skin that's made me, beside War Master Chen. We don't talk about Lunar Chen.
Your favorite one?
Oh god, I hate that skin. Oh my god, I just... I'm looking at it.
I hate Candy King Muradin.
I love Candy King Muradin.
That's fair. I hate Candy King Muradin too. You're not alone on that. It's despicable. But
that's funny.
Like, Lunar Chen just makes me nauseous.
Mm-hmm. Well,
but
I guess P-Flame, what do you think of this Muradin skin?
I'm not a huge fan of... I never played StarCraft, so the Marauder tie-in's not super impressive for me. I'm not a super huge fan of like robot stuff. So
No, I'm not gasping. I'm gasping at me because I'm an idiot, and it just clicked that it's a marauder. It just clicked. It's the guys that shoot the grenades to slow your Marines down, and it's really annoying. Oh my god, I'm bored.
It's a cool skin. The mount is cool. I won't pick it up, but I haven't picked up any legendary skins, so.
Yeah, legendary skins are definitely a bit pricey. This is available for $15, as well as in a bundle. If you don't own Murden yet, somehow you don't own Murden, who's like what, 2K gold, I think.
Yeah.
And also the robot mount. I forget what it is. Whatever, but
the Cyber Ram.
The Cyber Ram, correct.
If you own
So it's
Murden,
the dwarf one.
it's like $18.69.
Yeah.
So if you buy Marauder Murden for full price and get a $4 Cyber Ram.
Yeah, there you go. One other thing I want to talk about before we move on to some other news is, well, you had this in here about the quality of matches in the morning versus the evening. What do you want to talk about there? I know you've been playing a ton of heroes lately, especially in Hero League. So what are your thoughts on this? What's important about this?
Well, this was more of a discussion amongst us. Because I play both in the morning and the night, okay? And I feel that my games in the morning are far less toxic and less prone to, we'll call it idiotic decisions, than my games in the evening. Like, there's games I lose, and there's games we throw in the morning, but people aren't as mad about it in the morning, like in the evening, or as in the evening, where you're going to get flamed because you were pinging for everyone to go back and your Illidan decided he wanted to go 1v5. And then he was mad because the entire team didn't follow him into battle when nobody wanted to engage that particular fight. So this was more. I wanted to be an open, table discussion about everyone's thoughts on this. Like I think AM is the place to play. Is the time to play. Like I think it's because all the adults are home.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be perfectly, but all the adults are home, and so they're not as invested into the game as some of these kids are, who are trying to be the next fan or whatever. K1 Pro.
Yeah,
most of them are acting like Zuna, to be honest.
Oh my gosh. I have to say,
I haven't actually. Everybody who believes in Elo hell.
Yeah, there you go. I have to say, I actually haven't really played it in the mornings, at least during the week, because I don't get up early enough to play before I go to work. So most of my experience has been in the evening, and definitely there's some wonky games that happen when I play in Hero and Team League. So I think there is something to be said about being kind of deliberate of when you're going to play Hero League, because you're going to get different styles of matches, I feel like, during those.
There's definitely different... Or sorry, keep going.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
There's definitely just different demographics that play at different times of the day. And I read a study at one point where, like, people who play, like, primarily in the AM, and they're, like, their MMR is at a certain tier, they play in the PM. And I don't remember if it goes up or down or whatever, but either they're, like, suddenly way better than people around them or way worse. Because just the amount of people, the type of people who are available at different times of day. Certain ones are conducive to more competitive players or whatever. I have noticed less stressful and yelling in my morning games than my PM ones. But
so I'm not the only one who notices, like, AM games are overall less stressful on a person than PM games are. I'm not crazy. Okay. Good.
I don't think you are.
Because that's been kind of gnawing at me for a while. I think it was Digi, friend of the show, Digitality. I was talking with him about that, and I can't remember if one of you two were with us when we were doing it, but we were just. Oh no, Rhinoceros, another friend of the show, was with me, and we were just talking back and forth about, what the quality of matches, you get at what time of day, and Digi was even in agreement with me that he feels that AM games are less stressful than PM games, even in losses. So, like, I'd like to see Blizzard. I know you have age demographics. I would like to see age demographics on the players during the times of day. Like, what's the largest age range from people from, let's say 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then, 2 p.m. thereon. Break it up into blocks. I'm curious to see this. Like, it's bothering me now. So, hi guys.
Hi.
It was getting deathly quiet. I worried I was putting you guys to sleep.
No.
I was trying to
fine.
talk, but I was muted.
Oh, dread mute button.
And that's a shot?
Go ahead.
Yeah. I was just saying that you could pretty easily break it up into like 4 blocks of like the early morning, kind of afternoon, like evening time, and then like late night.
Yeah. That I would love to see that data. Like that is, I think other people would like to see that data too. I think that's genuine curiosity right there. I think that'll be fantastic info to have, at least for me, because I know when to play.
Don't play when the 12-year-olds are on.
Exactly.
There you go. That's why you don't play on Saturday afternoons. It's probably like the worst time to play.
Yeah.
Like,
but I do it anyways.
This one kid was just like flaming, like, I assume it was a kid. I hope it was a kid. But he was just like flaming everyone so hard. He was flaming his own teammates in a winning effort. Okay? And like, I just got flabbergasted, and I had a chance to save him, and I didn't. I just let him die. I will fully admit it was bad manners out of me, and he just started swearing at me, and I was like, "Where is your mother?"
Oh my goodness!
I didn't know what else to say. He had it coming to him.
No, yeah. You're allowed to
like,
PM every
my
once in a while.
KDA, bro. My numbers are ruined. I got one death. Oh no! How awful.
One death does not technically affect your KDA.
No.
This is a true
But
statement.
he was. Well, that kid has some language.
But we'll move on now to some esports news, and this is starting off very specific. We're going to go a little broad on this. There was the announcement or news broken on ESPN that Team Liquid is leaving Heroes of the Storm, which should surprise absolutely no one after they failed to qualify for HGC Europe, because Chris was always the problem, because he qualified with his own team. so clearly Chris was the problem with Team Liquid, as the joke goes. But wow, Team Liquid's been a big part of Heroes of the Storm for quite a while, and it's a bit of a bummer to see them leave, but also not surprising considering they were not able to qualify, and having that kind of a brand in the open bracket, the open league, would be kind of embarrassing. Yeah, you got the word I was looking for there. But I know, Zex, you have quite some thoughts on this, so I'm curious what you think of Team Liquid exiting Heroes Esports, at least for now.
Hashtag Chris wasn't the problem. Let's preface it with that. I'm honestly surprised that they got out of Heroes altogether, because when I think Blizzard and esports in particular, one of the first teams I think of is Team Liquid.
Mm-hmm.
Like they are
StarCraft?
they are the OGs of like the Western esports scene. I always considered them like the gatekeepers for Pro StarCraft. Like they never had somebody who was absolutely magnificent until late end of Wings of Liberty. But if you beat somebody on Team Liquid, you could effectively compare yourself to like Koreans in the scene, but like it's just so weird hearing a Blizzard game that doesn't have Team Liquid involved in it. That just blows my mind. And honestly, it makes me a little sad. Like I don't know how to feel about it. Like as much crap as I gave them in the ending months, like I always figured they'd just pick up a new team. Maybe they'd just pick up Diamond Skin. Hilariously enough, they seem to be doing okay.
Yeah.
But they just I remember there was a time where Team Liquid was supposed to be the best HOTS team in the world. Like hands down, like before C9 won it. Like everyone was like, Team Liquid is going to win BlizzCon. There's no way around it. They're going to bop the Koreans. They're going to bop everybody. Like no one's on Liquid's level. And they didn't. And it was like tossing a snowball off the side of a mountain. It just went downhill from there. They just never recovered. It was, in retrospect, it was like really sad to see happen because that team had so much potential behind it at first, and then it was just a series of really weird roster changes that didn't really make any sense. They had a fine team that just underperformed for BlizzCon, and they're like, we need to tear everything down and build it back up. Well, they got as far as tearing down.
Yeah, that's the thing that frustrates me about just MOBAs. I guess team games really in general, their teams are just so quick to just completely rip apart teams. I mean, we joke about roster apocalypse in North America all the time, but I mean, it happens in every team-based esports. It seems like even CS:GO all the time. Overwatch is seeing a lot of it right now, but yeah, Heroes especially. We see it sometimes.
Dota will be going through it here really soon.
Does Dota do it in the off season, like after the global thing?
There are 4 major tournaments. There is 3 seasonal tournaments, and then there's the international. And if I remember correctly, there's a 2-week period after the end of a major where you can. It's separated into 2 portions. There's a drop portion and then there's an add portion. So you have to, if you don't add a new a player before that, they're not supposed to be able to join. Especially if you're an invited team to one of the majors. If you don't follow those rules, you got to go through the open qualifier bracket. And then you have to go through another qualifier after that. The open qualifier is to play in the qualifier. So it's it gets pretty crazy for like 2 weeks, but even Dota has roster apocalypse as well.
Yeah. Because League's doing that right now because Worlds is over. So everyone's roster shuffling before the new season starts, but it really only happens like in this month of the year, and then everything's stable for the rest of it.
Yeah,
which is kind of nice.
Yeah, Dota's anything but Dota's anything but stable in my opinion. I mean, Valve has done their best to try to like keep roster apocalypses happening constantly. But it like the 2 weeks after a major is just like chaotic.
Yeah, and I think that's what Blizzard is trying to do, obviously with HGC here, trying to keep that a little bit stable. I don't know the exact rules. I don't think they've even been released yet. on what exactly roster swaps are going to be in the future of HEC. But I feel like we're going to start seeing a lot more organizations pick up some of these teams. We're seeing kind of no-name organizations pick up Grandmaster jackets. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Team Freedom, who I've never heard of, picked up Grandmaster jackets for 2017. They actually have a Dota team as well under esports.us. So
I've never heard of that team in my life.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. Maybe this will be the start of a new org that comes to prominence, similar to kind of Niventic. They were a no-name org, picked up Bob Ross Fan Club.
HOTS was their first team.
Yeah, HOTS was their first team as well.
I don't know. I don't know what it is about Niventic. I give them so much crap, and some of it's well deserved. But they've branched out into other esports, and the people they've picked up, like, I don't like them. Like, I swear this organization exists just to chap my bottom. Like, they're fighting game players. I don't like them. They drive me crazy. Like, like, I don't know. Like, I don't mean, yes, I do. I do mean to give Kenma and Zuna this much crap, because honestly, they have it coming to them. Like, they make it easy. For me as an observer to go, you're an idiot. Why are you acting like that?
Yeah, and to be honest, the last half of 2016, I was not impressed by them. We'll have to see what 2017 brings for them. They're bringing in big impact into the roster, so it'll be interesting. A lot of the teams, every team except Astral has new members on it. Denial. Oh, why am I putting myself in a corner? I'm not going to remember things. Denial added somebody to the roster because they dropped Glaurung, and I can't remember who.
Niventic, like, basically placed third in every tournament. Like, everybody expected Niventic to win, and then they just got beat. So, they're still good, but, like, they didn't make it to BlizzCon. And in the format we had last year, that's all that mattered.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
And then their manager had that meltdown on Twitter, which was amusing to watch. Like,
Denial added
I don't know. There were a few tournaments to qualify for BlizzCon.
That's right. Thank you, Listen Go in chat. Denial added McIntyre. Ashling. McIntyre.
We've been saying Ashling for like 3 weeks, and then Jimmy comes in with a Listen Go.
How did you come up with that?
Apparently, I'm dyslexic and moved the L.
That's not even dyslexia. That's just wrong.
Quiet.
That's like word salad. Like, there were a few tournaments for Niventic to get into BlizzCon, and they missed all of them. There was a couple of complaints about the HGC. Well, it's a single elim tournament. You have 3 chances to get in. That's actually a triple elimination tournament.
I mean, they made it to regionals every time. They just didn't make it to actual BlizzCon, where there were only 2 spots.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I don't know. Like, some of the whining I've heard about the open the qualifiers for the HGC and stuff like that, to kind of shift over to a different tournament format is just shut up.
I mean, you can, we probably sent our best to NA teams, right? Mm-hmm. The only problem with the tournament format is that we don't know, like, none of their teams get any recognition, and the top 2 teams are the only ones that are stable because they're actually getting money, and the 6 teams below them are just as no name as team number 64.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's why I want a league format, but it doesn't, aside from possibly forcing practice, it doesn't, really, it's not going to make, Niventic suddenly going to make it to BlizzCon because there's no league format.
There's no guarantee that teams are going to practice.
This is a true statement.
As depressing as that sounds, there's no promise of that. The other teams are going to practice because they want that cash, but There's more than one team involved in this. I'm worried that they're just not going to practice. Jimmy knows which one of the teams I'm talking about.
Yeah. And I might have insider info on certain teams that are not willing to scrim with other teams. That I've heard down the rumor mill, which doesn't surprise anyone.
What kind of childish crap is that?
Yeah, it's esports.
It's
silly.
I am trying to remain polite here, and I should be commended for my efforts.
You should. But what they are playing for is they're getting weekly best of 5 matches in prime time, and the top three teams from the West and East get to go to the Clash in the mid-season Clash, and that's what teams should really be going for, is being able to play in a major tournament against other regions to help improve themselves. Because those clashes, they're coming up in March, and I'm really excited to see what 3 teams North America is able to bring. And obviously the considered minor regions, that's Blizzard's words, not mine, of Australia and South America and the like, they get a spot as well. So this will be fun. I'm excited for HEC. Hopefully everyone brings their A-game, practices and scrims all together in a nice, big, lovely, happy rainbow, but we know the reality of the situation. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm still excited for HEC even with all this shenanigans going on. We'll see how long Chew 8 lasts.
They'll last as long as Glaurung's hero pool doesn't get banned out.
That seems to be common for every team that he's on.
When HOTS finally moves to 3 bans, at some point Glaurung's going to be screwed. Because they just keep banning his direction. And it's not that you're doing anything important. You're just getting in his head.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
It's just straight up mind games, And sometimes it's just really easy to tilt some players just by banning their heroes. It's only a respect ban for as long as you have respect for that person.
Well, I mean, Dunk Train has said as well that the game is 65% the meta in being able to ban out the right heroes and get the right composition on your side.
Yeah.
So I mean, the teams that do practice that and really focus on learning the meta and being able to draft well, I think are going to do well. And top mechanics is just icing on the cake. So I don't know.
To be fair, that's a statement about pro play.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry.
Draft is about 20%.
We're talking about the top level play, but
yeah,
I think we've kind of beaten out the esports story on this as much as we can.
Nothing worse than beating a dead horse is betting on one.
Exactly. Don't bet on Team Liquid. But I did really want to quickly talk about our What's Hot on Reddit topic, because this is actually really interesting and shows me how much I don't pay attention to Hinterland's Blast. Basically, someone asked why Hinterland's Blast is tied for the longest cooldown in the game. I went and looked. I was like, no way is it that long. It's 120 seconds.
Why?
This is why this thread exists. It's because we're all wondering why in the world it is so high.
Okay, that first comment is beautiful. You try charging up enough static electricity riding a griffin in the middle of war. Just cut the thread right there. You're done.
That's a pretty solid comment.
It is. Gust is 60 seconds.
Yeah.
60 seconds.
I mean, that was the big selling point when people switched to Gust. Was like, it was a 40-second cooldown. You could literally cast 3 Gusts in the same amount of time you could cast 1 Hinterlands. And they nerfed Gust cooldown because Gust is so OP.
Yeah.
But maybe they could. There are so few 120-second cooldown heroics in this game. I don't like maybe VP, but I think that might even be 100.
Yeah, it might be 100.
Hindulin's Blast in like Alpha was like the game-changing heroic.
Mm-hmm.
It's not anymore. So
It's
they either
halfway.
need to buff it so that it is worthy of 120-second cooldowns, or they need to nerf the cooldown to like 80 seconds because that's what its power level is right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I'm trying to think of the other heroics that are 120 seconds. I mean,
Mosh Pit.
Lava Wave. Okay, Mosh Pit was the one I was thinking of. Lava Wave just got there. So,
Yeah.
other than that, I don't know. But yeah, let's
there's
look at VP.
There's
VP,
one more.
100
VP's
seconds.
100 seconds.
Yep.
Syndragos is 100.
Ma...
That's what I'm looking at.
Mom might be, yeah.
It's 100.
Hundreds.
Okay.
Wow.
I think Ma used to be 120. They changed it. Metamorphosis is 120, but like, it's not really 120.
Yeah, that doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't count because it's Illidan. He has a built-in battle momentum.
Yeah.
Now, okay. Speaking of Illidan, his lunar skin is cool. Okay, back on topic.
I mean, that was kind of it. I mean, what is there to discuss about this being 120 seconds? I mean, would knocking 30 seconds off of it really like make it that OP?
I mean, it wouldn't make it OP, but it would make it like
Competitive?
pickable.
Yeah.
Because you basically get to blast every 2 team fights at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Or
With
you,
that-
you make your team play smart and not do it. But there are just so many 90, 80 second, 60-second heroics that, you know, the rest of your team's going to be like, oh, my ult's up, we can fight. And you're out of luck.
Yeah. I mean,
God, Gravabomb's only 110 seconds.
yeah, exactly. Poor Falstad.
It's crazy.
But I think that is going to be it for our show tonight. We are going to have our game portion coming up. So if people would like to play, hop on in-game, join Blizz Pro in the Heroes client, and we'll be playing some games. I don't know exactly what we'll do. We'll let you guys decide what you would like to play. But as always, thank you to our patrons for their support. Willie, do you have any
Yes.
patron news?
I don't have the patron page pulled up right now, but obviously, patron.com/heroes power hour. We have several tiers for you to indulge yourself in and help us out a little bit. Everything ranging from getting your name called out on the show, which I don't have in front of me because I'm a bad host, to being able to pick a hero for us during the gameplay portion of the show, to
Having us cast a replay.
Yeah. I need to do that too. I do have a replay that I want to have cast, and then we have a T-shirt, which you can see on the Patreon page. It's done by Ashmish Art. Ashmish. That was really hard to say. Art on great guy. Love the design. And the money goes to help us out. Help us out on the show. When things go wrong, it kind of helps us replace it and repair and keep everything running nice and smooth. And I'm so bad at this. This is so terrible out of me, but we love our patrons. We love our viewers. We just had a guy sub too.
Yeah, thanks Anwar for using your sub. Blizz Pro appreciates it.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. It's awesome.
It was,
I went through every heroic in the game. The only other 110 I could find was Samaro's Bladestorm, and there were no other 120s.
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But give us your money. I want to cast your games. Donate to the $15 tier at least. I want to cast your games in a bedroom voice.
There you go. But yeah, thank you, Willie, for talking about the patron. Patreon.com/heroespower if you want to check that out and see all the tiers and rewards there. As always, make sure to check out heroesofthestorm.blizpro.com for all the awesome articles that Alebeard puts up. Tons of strategy articles there. Everything you could ever want for Heroes of the Storm available for you there. As always,
disclaimer. Alebeard is not actually a person. He's a robot.
Machine designed to pump out Heroes articles.
Exactly. But as always, our show goes up on YouTube, youtube.com/BlizzPro, along with the other Blizz Pro Network shows. Wednesdays at 6 p.m. is a West March workshop covering everything Diablo 3. Thursdays at 7 p.m. is the Payload Podcast, which I'm a part of, covering everything Overwatch. Sundays at 7 is the Well Met, covering Hearthstone in the mean streets of Gadstan. And once again, check out our Discord, discord.blizzpro.com.
And we have a Warcraft show coming soon, TM.
Yes, we do. TM.
Huh?
A World of Warcraft show is coming soon.
What's it going to be called?
I
don't think they have a title
yet. They're still working on the title, so we will announce that when it does.
I've got a great title for it already.
Uh-oh.
Want to hear it?
Yeah. And there you have it, Willie's thoughts on World of Warcraft. But yeah, that is going to be our show for this week. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Episode 86 for the Heroes Power, brought to you by BlizzPro.com and partnered with Lenovo Gaming and Intel. We will see you in the Nexus very soon. And cut.
All right, so if y'all are interested